Hey loves, it's your girl DeeDee and welcome back to the channel. So I'm back with another reaction video. Now this comes from a few people in general who has something to say about this video clip, and I don't have the video clip, but it's the video clip of this woman who was being attacked by a guy, and he had a gun, but she was able to take the gun from him and take the take the magazine out of the gun and all of that. She was able to defend herself, but a lot of women in particular had issues with the men who were sitting around who did not go to protect this woman or try to help her. The tides have turned. There are a lot of situations now where men are minding their own business and not getting involved with issues that women have, because women have proclaimed, and some women, not all women, but a lot of women have proclaimed that they don't want men approaching them. They don't want men to even talk to them. They're tired of men. Men are dusty. They're useless and all these things. So now men have decided that, hey, if this is the way that you feel about us, we don't want to be bothered with you either, because we don't want to ruin your day. We don't want to interfere with what you got going on. So we're going to stay over here. We're going to mind our business and we don't have to deal with you. So we're going to go ahead and get into this particular clip. Definitely chime in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. Let me know what you think of this video. Also comment, like, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this clip. Here we go.
A girl fight off a robber at gunpoint. He literally had a gun to her. She fought him off, got the magazine out the gun and everything. But the crazy part about it was that there was two men watching very close by. I mean, literally very close by. They were right within the vicinity, which is weird because why would that man try to rob her with those two guys there? But he did it because he knew they wasn't gonna do, and they did not. It was one man sitting on the grass watching it, just watching the girl get robbed. The other guy, he's painting some, just watching it. Like, what the f are men for? Why are they here? Because I don't have to guess that if a woman, any type of woman, was sitting there and seeing that, they would have tried to help. It could have been a woman in a goddamn wheelchair. She would have wheeled her ass over there and handled business. I just don't understand the point of men anymore.
And this is why men don't want to deal with women now. She doesn't understand the point of men. But this is why men are not dealing with these types of women. And I beg to differ. I don't think that a woman in a wheelchair or any woman standing by was going to run over and risk her life to try to get in front of a gun to try to save somebody else. I don't think that that would happen. And I think women are being disingenuous when they say stuff like this because they want to be right, and they're not getting their way. So they say anything they feel would, work towards their, their narrative, or for people to believe what they're saying. Nah, I don't think that women would do that. Women will run and go the opposite way to save themselves. You know what I'm saying? So I don't agree with her on that, but let's continue.
Said you watched the lady defend herself from an attacker. Take the gun away from him, get the clip out the gun. Why did anybody need to intervene? She had it. Had somebody that she did not know walk up from behind her when she got that gun away from him and try to intervene, what do you think would have been the likelihood that they got shot? We live in an era of social media and public pranks. So how do you know those men that were sitting there was not trying to figure out if this is real or not? Because there's a young man in Florida right now sitting in jail because he used his legal, lawfully attained firearm to intervene in what he thought was a young lady being mugged by a man. All the while, it was a what would you do scenario, a prank that was being pulled on the unsuspecting public.
Now listen, I didn't think of that. We are in an era of pranks. People do pranks for social media. You don't know what's going on, and a lot of women hate to give men the benefit of the doubt. You just sit there and just want to blame them for everything. Blame them for this, blame them for helping, blame them for not helping, blame them for this, blame them for that, when you yourself wasn't going to jump in and do anything about that. Call 911. There's other things that you can do to help, but you can't always just jump in. And I think a lot of times women don't understand that, but they know that they won't do it. They're not jumping in front of no gun to try to save somebody. Come on now. You don't know what the situation is, and you just can't willy-nilly just put yourself in harm's way like that when you have responsibilities. And on top of that, even you just don't want to lose your life. And the climate in which women are saying they don't give a shit about you, why would you want to do that in the first place? Let's continue.
His life is forever changed. The scar that you're looking at changed my life 20 years ago when I came to the aid of a lady who was being domestically abused by her husband. I intervened, almost mortally wounding that man. I almost took his life. And the result of what happened, I got cut severely with a pair of car keys all the way to my carpal tunnel. It changed my life. I was on the verge of having my first professional fight. It took my career from me. I was not right-handed before that happened. It changed my life. 2 days later, I was arrested at my mother's home when I went to go visit my mother where the incident happened. They were her next door neighbors. I was arrested and I was charged with 2 cases of aggravated assault, 2 cases of simple battery, 2 cases of harassment, 2 cases of trespassing. And do you know why? Because she stayed with the men that abused her and then pressed charges on me for coming to save her. Well, they threw the criminal charges out and then they sued me in civil court for a grand total of $75,000. His case was thrown out. Like I said, I changed that man's life. He cannot walk on his own anymore. His life will never be the same after that. And I don't think that he deserved to have that happen to him. I struggle with what I did to that man every single day. And do you know why? Because they sued me and she won. I dropped her accidentally when her domestic abuser husband grabbed me around the wrist and cut me. I dropped her, causing her to hit her head, resulting in 2 stitches. I had to get over 200 stitches inside and outside my hand. And I needed surgery. She won $23,000 in a lawsuit from me, which was later overturned, but I still had to pay this lady $5,000 on top of my own medical bills for coming to save her. But you watched. Why didn't you get involved? Maybe you was watching it in a video. She was able to defend herself. We don't always know what's going on in the streets. If I'm not a cop, if I jump in and intervene in a situation, I could go to jail. I could be sued. That takes me away from my wife, who I made a vow before God to love, honor, and protect. And you know what the crazy thing is? When I first made this video, after Roe report says she got hit in the head with a brick, explaining why men don't intervene. And I said, even if I was faced with the same situation, I would help because women need help. Every single woman on that post said that I was absolutely crazy for intervening in the first place. You have a good day.
Ooh, baby, that was a lot. And see, this is what women need to see. You need to see what the men go through. You need to think about what would happen if somebody did intervene, if they're willing to put their own lives on the line for you, what that would look like, what that would entail. Instead of you just criticizing people for not intervening, not thinking about their livelihood. And it's all about you though. It's all about you being self-absorbed, worried about yourself and not the other person. And then on top of that, we're in this climate of women who seem to hate men. You don't care about them. You don't care about nothing about them. And then you still want them to put their lives on the line. It's unfortunate that this man had to go through this, but this is the flip side of men intervening to help women who don't really seem to care about them. And in all of this, in this situation, that's another reason why men are skeptical about intervening, because if it's a domestic violence situation where she ends up back with the guy, that makes it even worse because you end up with him. You want people to jump in on your behalf, and then you go back and you still take the man back. That would make anybody skeptical about jumping in. Women gotta stop thinking that just because a man is a man, that he's just supposed to be this super mighty hero ready to save the day for any woman just running the streets, any woman, no matter who she is. Men are just supposed to always be the mighty man in a suit with a cape on ready to save a hoe, and that's just not his job. That's crazy. You got to stop thinking like that. But once again, it's a bunch of selfish minded individuals who think that men are just supposed to be at your beck and call to do whatever it is you want, no matter the situation, no matter how you talk about them, no matter how you disregard them, no matter how you don't want to deal with them and all that. You want to be nasty to them, you want to talk down on them, and then you want them to come and save you and rescue you. So you once they've rescued you, you could like, thank you or no thank you, go on peasants and back to your entitled life. That's insanity to me. But this is the mindset of a lot of women. It's selfishness. It's very selfish. But let's continue.
Okay, but what are you complaining about? Y'all chose the bear. Even your entire comment section is filled with, I would choose the bear. I chose the bear. Where's the bear? And then one woman left a comment saying, it's disgusting how all these men are commenting saying, call the bear. Why is that disgusting? Y'all chose the bear. And now you're literally bashing men for not helping. Y'all chose the bear over the man. And now that you're getting robbed at pew pew point, now you want a man to step in and potentially put his life at risk when he probably has a family at home to go to. Call the bear.
And exactly why are we supposed to put our life on the line for women that hate us? Make it make sense. You said down with the patriarchy. The patriarchy is the protector. It is the provider. So when you get rid of the patriarchy, you get rid of the protector and you get rid of the provider. This is on you women. There is no honor in protecting you and providing for you. Not the way y'all put us down. Not the way y'all tear at us. Not the way y'all tell us to get away from you, creep. Not the way y'all tell us to leave you alone. Not the way y'all tell us y'all don't want to be bothered. No, there is no protection. You got rid of it.
But see, that's the part that they don't understand. They didn't put two and two together. They don't think, and oftentimes this happens with women, with certain women. You don't think of the bigger picture. You don't think of the consequences associated with your actions. You don't think about what you're doing and what's the consequence of that. They don't think that far out. You just think, this is what I want. I don't care what you think. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to say. And that's it. And then when the aftermath happens, now you're confused. Like, why is this happening? Why are men like this? There's so many videos of women asking, why are men not talking to us? You told them not to. The same thing with chivalry. You said chivalry is dead because you got rid of it. You didn't want it. You didn't want a man to open the door for you. Oh, because you can do it yourself. You don't want a man to do this for you because you can do it yourself. So now you're in a position to do it yourself. Now you want men to do stuff for you. Make it make sense. Y'all got to get y'all ish together. Seriously.
Two reasons why a man will go ahead and watch a woman be robbed and do nothing. Number one, liability. A dude went ahead and saved the woman from drowning. And the woman ended up suing him because she did not give him permission to save her. So now that this man has to go back and forth to court just because he did a good deed. Reasons number two, and this is common. A man prevents a woman from being robbed and end up being himself. This man probably has kids. He probably has a home he want to go back to. It's not one of them type of situations where you say, someone stupid, get in my way. And have that man proceed to go and get shot and then you walk away. No. It's equal opportunity. You are a woman, hear you roar. You are strong. You're capable. You don't need no man. So why is the argument about the value of a man always being brought up once a woman is left vulnerable? Men are useless unless they're making a sacrifice. Those men should have sacrificed their lives for the sake of that woman that was in danger. And what if that woman was pretending going to be robbed just to lure them two men into a vulnerable state where they themselves would be robbed? I'm just saying this because you're going into the unknown without a plan. At least if you're going to prevent something, then have some type of plan on how you're going to prevent it. But going into a situation where they're armed and you're not, that's stupid. Oftentimes, we don't have the training or the know-how or the credentials. And if someone gets hurt, you're going to end up being liable. And in this Sue Happy world, you're not trying to want to be liable for anything.
And you know, I agree with what he's saying. And it's unfortunate too that if you are someone who decides to go in and help, you never know if it's going to turn around on you. There's a lot of cases, which was some were mentioned in this video clip, of people who have intervened and then they turn around and get sued. And it's a lot that they have to go through. They get hurt, get sued for helping. Who wants to have to deal with that? And it's a sad shame because there are people who might need help, and you might see something, and it's unfortunate that people will turn around and walk away because they just don't want to be held liable. They don't want to get involved. They have families that they have to take care of, and they're in a home, like you said, they want to get to. They have to put themselves first. And it doesn't make it any better when you have a bunch of women who are just constantly calling men dusties and bums and useless. That's not going to give them any incentives to want to help you when they see you're in distress, because you've told men over and over and over and over, we don't need y'all. We can do this by ourselves. We can take care of ourselves. And so they believe you, and they're moving accordingly. And I just think that you have to pay attention to the message that you're putting out there, the things that you're saying, and understand that they hear you. And you can't get mad when the odds are not in your favor because of the choices that you made. And unfortunately, the good have to suffer for the bad, because the ones who are not thinking that way may be the ones who have to suffer because of the ones who have put that foolishness out there. And that's the unfortunate part, in my opinion. Let's continue.
I don't know why this is such a hard concept to understand, but women created this situation where they dislike men so much that men finally said, "F it, we're not going to help you, we're not going to protect you, we owe you absolutely nothing, and because you're just some random stranger, I no longer have to help you." And really what gets me about the video is that there's a lot of other people in that video. Most people did a singular focus on the man sitting in the grass when that woman was getting attacked, but there were women there. So what happened to women supporting women? You know, y'all like to preach like how you're girls and you're supporting each other and oh my God, I'm always here for you. But you see a woman getting attacked and there's two women walking the other direction. Why aren't they running to her defense? Right, because you want the men that you claim are such trash to save you. And this is a perfect example of what women do all of the freaking time. They create this standard for how men should treat them, whether that's in the dating phases, in the marriage stages, in friendships, whatever it is. And they created this standard where they hate men so much, but now you want protection from said men. And now that you don't get it, the men are weak. Make it make sense. You cannot continuously drag men and blame the patriarchy and all of this bullshit around you, but then expect men to jump in and save you. Why don't you all call a freaking bear?
Listen, absolutely no lies detected. You know, you got a bunch of women walking around thinking that there aren't any consequences for their actions. That's a bunch of spoiled, entitled individuals that you just want what you want, no matter how you treat people, no matter what you say, no matter what you do. Somebody's always supposed to just be there for you when you know that you're not willing to do the same in return. And I think this is just the aftermath of it all. It's not going to be pretty because women, like she said, have created this monster. You created this and now you're trying to run away from it and still blame somebody else. You can't constantly blame somebody else for your actions and the way you do things, the way you treat people, the way you go about your life. You have to take some accountability, and it's only going to get worse. It's not going to get better. And another thing is, women, they're realizing, if they haven't already, that they can't continue to shame men into doing what it is they want them to do. You can't shame men into protecting you. You can't shame them into paying your bills. You can't shame them into wanting to take you on and do all these unrealistic things for you. The shame is over. You can't shame them into doing it. So you're going to have to come up with a different strategy. These women are going to have to start doing better. You're going to have to start realizing that you got to take accountability, especially if you're trying to get somewhere in life. You're going to have to start doing something differently, because this is some BS for the particular women who are out here spreading this narrative and pushing this, thinking that this is going to make men do what they want them to do. And it's not. It's doing the opposite. They're not catering to strangers. They're not doing these things for these women who they don't know. They're not paying your bills just because they're trying to date you. They're not doing it. So women are going to have these particular women are going to have to start doing something else. You're going to have to come up with a different plan, because this one is not working. But baby, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments of this video. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Y'all make sure y'all hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos or go live, you guys. Make sure you continue to watch the videos and support the channel, y'all. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.